As I said from the start there, Matt, we do have a special guest again this morning. It's the Limerick Ladies Senior Football manager, Graham Shine. Graham, how are you keeping?
Hi lads, how are you keeping?
Good morning,
Good,
Graham.
good.
How are you?
Morning, Matt. How are you?
It's good to have you on ahead of your big trip this weekend. I suppose looking to secure a league semi-final berth, but you're in Derry against Derry. You know what you have to do. You came close against Leitrim thus far, but I suppose what's the mood like in the camp ahead of I suppose a unique trip up to Derry?
Oh yeah, look, the mood is good. Look, we've had a great start. You know, the two wins on the road and then the draw against Leitrim. Look, you know yourselves, we were half time, we were down by 10 points, and to come back and to draw it and kind of be winning it towards the end. Look, the girls, look, we came out of there a bit disappointed we didn't win it. We're also grateful that we got the draw. That gives us the opportunity now to go to Derry and get the points on the road and get into another National League semi-final, please God.
Yeah, what's the mood like after a game like that you were down by so much but you actually got ahead late on? There was probably a small bit of disappointment there at the same time, which is good for a team that are down by 10 points to be disappointed with the result in the end.
I know, look, inside I was delighted. You know, I was jumping around inside, to be honest, because when you're 10 points down against an intermediate team and we kind of struggle with them, with their physicality and stuff at the start. They're letting the long ball, and there was a strong wind, and we just kind of struggled. And at half time, look, we just kind of said to the girls, look, just show a bit of character now and what we have and what we're building in the group, and just play our football and play what we do with training and just stick to that, and just keep working hard, and hopefully we'll get a bit of luck and get a few scores and get it back. And gee, when we brought it back to 4 points and they went up and got that goal, I kind of sunk a bit. Then I said, Jim Mac, we just had him and we let him back into the game, but we introduced Iriston and a few of the girls, and look from 1 to 15 really up to the gear, and we got the few scores at the vital time. And as I say, going into injury time, we were 2 points up, which was unbelievable. They got a couple of frees, then maybe soft frees in my eyes, but they got a couple of frees and equalised it. But after all, after the game, look, the morale was great in the camp. No loss again, so as I said, everyone's looking forward now to Sunday. Have to get the points on the road Sunday, or it's probably all in vain. But look, we're really focused for Sunday, and I'm sure we'll pick up the points.
You mentioned morale there. There just does seem to be, you know, a good vibe, I suppose, in the camp. Is there anything you can put that down to? Or?
I just think from day one, when we got in the group, we brought in probably 14 or 15 different players from last year. A lot of the players are really young, excited to be playing for Limerick, and it just gives that dynamic that everyone has to fight for places now, which is really important in a group, that we've kind of covered now for every position in the field, which is great. So it just brought a different spirit and it kind of lifted it, and girls are really buying into what we're at, and it's kind of working out so far. So again, look, a winning mentality, it does give morale in the camp, you know. And once you keep being successful, you'll keep at that, you know. It's the day that you lose a few in a row that then we have to change things and look at things.
It must be brilliant for you to be, you know, able to bring in a share of players and they fit in so seamlessly, because it can go the other way just as easy, you know, that you could bring in players and they mightn't settle and there could be, you know, a bad vibe around the training ground. So you must be happy in that regard.
Oh, very happy, Jack, because as I say, look, last year, the first year when I came on board with the management, so we didn't have a chance to look at the players, you know, playing with our clubs, and kind of last year we went to all the games, we didn't miss a game, and we were looking at players that would fit into our system, and we knew that would straight away within a couple of sessions that they'd get into that system that we play. So that was kind of the way it was picked, and the girls that came in, they just fitted in straight away. Everyone got on really well. Yeah, look, I know everyone probably says, but it is a happy camp at the moment, and we're training now last night. Morale is good. Very good session last night. These girls just want to keep improving. Every session we want to improve. So it's kind of player-led as well. They can take onus of that on the pitch when they're training, and we just provide the goods to them and they do the rest.
Yeah, I suppose you can see it in your performances, and you kind of mentioned it briefly, but you have played two intermediate teams and obviously beat Wicklow and drew at Leitrim. You could have beat them that I know the league is the goal now, but it must give you confidence that when it comes to championship, that you've played teams in a higher grade and beat them, or else drew with them and could have beat them. You know.
Yeah, it's great. Look, and I still think we're only at the tip of it, really, because there's so much talent in the group. We're still probably not as efficient in front of goals as we like. At the moment, we're really good defensively, but in front of goals, we need to work a little bit harder and get the efficiency rate up higher. So I think, look, better this group will get throughout the year. As I say, it is really player-led at the moment. They're driving it on. We could see that there the last day when you're 10 points down. That wasn't anything I said at halftime. That was them. They took that on themselves. And that's the way it has been now since last November, December. It's player-led and they're driving it on. And please God, you get over the line and get into semi-final and just one game at a time. And we probably were in the same situation last year. We lost no game last year. Got to semi-final, won it, got to final, lost. And to be honest, you got nothing for it, you know. And like this year, we have to be really focused in on every game. And we have to get over the line this year, please God, and get them up to Division 3.
Okay. And I suppose, you know, if you go to Owenbeg this weekend, this Sunday, and you don't get the win, you know, it won't be for nothing, but it kind of will be that you could miss out in a semi-final. So I suppose it is important to keep it game to game, even though you are, you know, flying at the moment.
Yeah, you have to, Jack, because down at this level, in Division 4, I don't see much between the teams. You know, maybe Kilkenny, they're new into it, and it'll take them a couple of years. But every other team seems to be nipping tuck with it. So, like, if you go up to Derry, we don't know what they'll produce up there or what they have, and we just really focus in. As I said, last 2 weeks preparation has been really good. We've really focused in ourselves. We looked at Derry maybe defensively a small bit, and their attacking stuff, but we really focused in ourselves. And no, the girls, I don't think the girls will slip up the weekend. If we're to be beat, it'll be Derry that'll be beating us, not ourselves.
Lovely. Matt, I'll throw it over to you.
Graham, you just touched on it there. Just looking at the composition of your team, I think over the 3 games to date, that looking particularly at your defence, I think you have only named one change over the 3 games. That's despite the fact that Alva Quaid isn't available. Is she available or is she coming back? But that would seem to suggest that you're happy with your defence. But you made as many as 5 changes in the attack from one game to the next, I think from the Kilkenny to the Wicklow game, which would suggest that the jury is still out as to get the right format up front.
Yeah, correct. And look, with defensively, look, last year, Matt, after the All-Ireland semi-final, we let in 7 goals, you know, and the All-Ireland semi-final, yeah, that was a big thing last year with us, what happened that day. And we sat down a lot and we analysed it, and we just had to come up with something that didn't happen again. So look, we set out our stall to set up that defensive structure that we use. Picked the best 6 that fitted into it straight away. But if you really analyse us, you know, we have been probably sprinkling another 4 or 5 or 6 players into that during each game. So we have different players coming into different positions in the defence throughout the game. Maybe not starting, but there's a lot of girls getting a lot of experience in that system in the last 3 games, and we'll get it again on Sunday. For your other question, the forward line, look, you're always trying to improve in the forwards, you know, and look, forwards relish in scoring, and you know, maybe sometimes they might get in this game, we try someone else in the next game, and that's what the league is for. We promised every girl at the start that the league is for getting game time into them. For a championship, if they're sprung, then they know what they're doing. And the big thing is for girls to get experience in the system. There's girls there that have a more Limerick jersey at adult level before, get that jersey on them, and just see how they take to it and how they feel wearing it. And that's what we're trying to do in the league. And I think we've used probably every player now. I think the 31 or 2 players have got game time.
Yeah, Jack, Graham, I suppose the league in itself is a means to an end, i.e. the championship. But how near your championship team, or how near your best team are you at present?
At the moment, you don't know. It goes from, look, you get surprised every week, you know. There's girls there at the moment now that are biting at the bit to start. And look, as I say to you, it's such a competitive group this year. We probably have 36 in the panel, and We've 4 or 5 out injured at the moment. They're ready to come back, and we probably cover for every place. So picking the team is very hard at the moment. Come championship, it could completely change. We have a semi-final, please God, if we get over the line coming up, and it's just week by week, and we go on. Players are training. If put up your hand at train and play well, you'll start the week after, and that's kind of what we're looking at the moment. And as I say, I'm not even thinking down the road of that now. It's game by game and see can we get out to the level 4, Division 4.
Graham, speaking to you a number of times, going around to matches last year and speaking to you and since the start of this campaign, you've seemed to set Division 3 football as a holy grail. Is it even more important now that you have almost half of your panel new and young players?
Yeah, look, one of the things I kind of don't like about it, Matt, is that I suppose this split in two, split where the only division in the league that are split in two. Division 4 is the only teams playing this weekend. Like I'd rather if we were like in above level Division 3 and playing your 7 or 8 games and go straight to a final and concentrate in on the championship after that. So I just think I think for Limerick we need to get up to a higher level, play the teams up higher. We're well capable. Look, with the teams we're playing this year in championship and stuff. We Division 3 last year, awfully. And so look, I think we're well able, and I think we need to progress. I think we need to get up a level, Division 3, higher standard of football probably, and get more games. More structure to the games. There's too much gaps in Division 4. There's gaps of 2 weeks, gaps of 3 weeks. We need more structure to that and get more, get that 7 or 8 games within a space, maybe 9 weeks, 10 weeks, like all the other divisions are doing, and straight to a final. I think that's better for Limerick going forward. And like you go up to Division 3, you can stay up, and as you're building, you can go up, hopefully go up another division. I do really think, I think it would suit Limerick great to be up in Division 3 with the structure that they have compared to the structure we have at Division 4.
Jack touched on it there, but do the games against Wicklow and Leitrim, now Wicklow were beaten in the All-Ireland Intermediate quarter-final last year, and Leitrim were in they didn't make the knockout stages of the All-Ireland series. But the type of performance against those two counties, has it even strengthened your resolve and convinced you more that Division 3 is the place to be?
Yeah, I think so, Matt. Look, and sure, that's why we're in it. We're in it to get promoted. And like we don't want to stay in Division 4. You're just playing every year in for nothing. Like we start out in the year, we have 2 goals. The first goal is get out of Division 3, get out of Division 4, up to Division 3. And as I said, look, we're well capable. And some days, like last year against Offaly there, we probably played 50 minutes of good football. We were leading for most of it, and for 15 minutes we let in 3 goals. And that's why that 15 minutes really cost us last year. So look, there's a big focusing on the girls, a big focusing on the management. Try win every game, get ourselves into that position of a semi-final. And look, after that, then you kind of take a game by game. It's a 50-50, and please God, you'll get over the line. But because I say Derry is the next thing, you have to beat them, or you won't probably have a chance of playing in a semi-final. So look, my answer would be that definitely I think we need to get up to divisions. We have the quality, we have the talent, we have everything in place. The structure is in place, county board, everything now is in place. Everyone's been looked after, and I just think for us as a group, if we're going forward together, I would love to play at a higher level.
I'll cut across you there, Matt, if you don't mind. Or I just have one question.
Just one last question, Jack. One last question. Graham, turning to Derry, what is the state of play regarding injuries? I know Carol Bateman is going to be out for a while.
Yeah, so at the moment we have Grania McKenna, who is an injury. Probably back in maybe next 6 weeks. Maybe we're just going working with physio and stuff like that, and a medical team in Dublin. Just so maybe next 6 weeks. And Charlotte Walsh broke her wrist in a challenge game. She's probably back in the next. she's back running and stuff now, and it's just a bit of rehabilitation on the wrist. So please God, she's back in 2 weeks' time maybe. Roisin Breedy's back, but not ready for contact. Alva Quaid was back, picked up a soft tissue injury in her foot last Sunday, so she's out for Derry. That's kind of it at the moment, I'd say, with the injuries. They're all there. They're all training. They're either doing gym or they're doing pitch at the moment, being monitored. And just really, Gráinne McKenna would only be really the long-term injury, and that would probably push out to 6 or 8 weeks.
Thanks, Graham.
No problem at all.
Graham, sorry to cut across there, Matt, a minute ago. Ladies football in general seems to be in a brilliant place, Graham. It's marketed really well. There seems to be a great buzz around it. It must be, enjoyable to be involved at this time.
It's great, Jack. Like, I got first involved in 2015, and it's light years away from that. Even at the moment, the exposure the Limerick ladies are getting at the moment. We have a new PRO there, Linda. She is constantly has us publicised in social media, the likes of yourselves, the radio stations, and it's all publicity for the girls, and it's bringing it to higher level. The TG Car has brought it to another level, little sponsorship. So, like, the whole thing is on and up, and probably the likes of the Meath ladies has brought it to another level. A team that can come from junior to intermediate to senior, Division 3 to 2 to 1 and win it. Everything, it's very positive at the moment. I think a lot of girls really want to play for their county. As I say, the big thing is they're being looked after, that they're treated right and they get what they deserve to get. They train really hard, probably do 4 team sessions a week and 1 or 2 individual practices a week. So they train really hard, plus they hold down jobs, they study. Some of them have families. So, they look, they get what they're getting now, what they're putting into, and it can get a bit better. Probably, pitches and can still be a bit hard to get, but we're lucky at the moment. We've secured pitches. So overall, Jack, it's very positive, and I think it's going to get bigger. It's one of the fastest growing sports in the world, so it's going to get bigger. Thanks be to God.
Yeah, it's great to see. Before we go, obviously, as a Kerry native, it's probably a hard question, but what is the relationship to football in Kerry between ladies and men? I can see the pitch behind you there on the screen. Is it as soon as you're born in the kingdom, you're a football is thrown into your hand and away you go?
It is, and I suppose when I went to Limerick first, you would have the hurling is probably number 1, and then you have the camogie and the football, where like football up until recently is really number 1 in Kerry. My house would be just football mad, if we're not with Limerick, we're down watching Kerry or we're at club games, and you go down to town, you're talking about football. You go to the pub, you talk about football. It's just everything in our lives is football down here, and like you follow the county team, you follow your club team, we have divisional teams we follow. Just from you're a kid, you're given a ball and you're down the local field. And we're in Limerick, I see a lot of guys walking around the street with Hurleys. We wouldn't see that much where I'm from, but in North Kerry now it's getting stronger. Kerry hurlers are getting stronger, so they have a good following now. I go to some of their matches. They have a good crowd following them now as well. But look, the ladies football side of things, I've managed to carry ladies football, and the Limerick ladies have just put in the same amount of work, the same passion. And as I say, this bunch of players really want to play for Limerick. It's oozing out of them, and I think they showed that to everyone in Rathkeale 2 weeks ago when they came back from that 10-point deficit. They really show they really want to play for Limerick, and it really matters. It really means a lot to them. And as I said in an interview there lately, I'm loving it down here, and I'm loving the drive and the passion off of the girls. You get a great energy off them every night at training. Every night you leave training, you leave with a buzz, and you feel that they learn that bit more every night. So, as I say, I think it's flying at the moment. I think Limerick ladies, especially where I'm involved at the moment, it is up and up and up, and I think every year it'll get stronger. There's lovely under 14, under 16s. I watched the minors. They're lately a very good footballing team. Drew at Waterford, and I think everything is really positive.
Well, hopefully that positivity can continue this week. Thanks a million for your time there. Again, I told you 10 or 15 minutes. We've Merely gone double that. But the best of luck this Sunday in Owenbeg at 1 o'clock. A draw or a win is good enough for you, Graham. So please, God, you can get the result. And again, a huge thank you to you for coming on. And I'm sure Matt echoes that sentiment. So the best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, Graham.
Just before I go, lads, thanks a million as well for the exposure you're giving us. It's great there every week to turn on into Facebook there and see a little slot there between yourself and Matt Jack about the ladies. It's much appreciated by the management and the team. And thanks again, and we really appreciate it.
Perfect. Well, that'll definitely continue, and please God, you'll continue in your winning ways. Graham, we'll talk to you very soon. Thanks very much.